Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a Silver Stacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 12th day of May, 2021, I'd like to take you over here to JM BUllion to start your day here and look at the live spot prices. Gold is down 63 cents to 1841.50. Silver's down 17 cents to 27.50. Platinum is down $2.03 to 12.47.63. And palladium is up $8.02 to 29.64.96. Our next stop is over here to the Google Machine News, and I looked up copper. Now, we already know that copper is at all-time highs, and it's setting new records every day. Now, it says here, copper is to surge at least sevenfold before this bull market is over. That's out of Kitco 13 hours ago. Al Jazeera says that hot commodities are iron ore, and it surged 10%, and copper is extending its record run. Over here from mining.com, copper price hits new high on declining scrap supplies out of mining.com. And check this out even further. Copper foam can be used as filters for COVID-19 masks. And we already kind of knew that copper had some anti-COVID properties. In the beginning of the pandemic, I think they said that the copper didn't last very long on there. So that's very interesting. So copper is on a bull run right now, and it's actually going to be worse than it is now, because check this out over at Bloomberg about a couple days ago, and this says here, an acid squeeze is the latest obstacle facing giant copper mines. Yeah, what? Acid squeeze, yeah. Okay, add that to the list, folks. And this is by Daniela Sartori Cortina, May 10th, updated May 11th, and it says here, spot prices of sulfuric acid have surged as supplies tighten. At least one copper mine in Chile has already been impacted. So they use sulfuric acid in the production of copper and silver and gold. So this is kind of a big deal, folks. This just adds to the woes of our supply of copper and base metals, and as well as precious metals as on top of that. So add sulfuric acid to the list of challenges facing copper miners as the world clamors for more of the wiring metal. The compound used to extract copper from ore is getting harder to come by. A slowdown in oil refining during the pandemic has resulted in less availability of sulfur, and that's a key input for the acid or ingredient or reagent. At the same time, more acid made in Asia is being used locally as industries there rebound. At least one copper mine and top producer Chile has already been impacted, and spot prices have surged. That collection of events hasn't ever really happened before, said Peter Harrison, principal sulfur analyst at CRU Group. In the middle of 2020, it was smelters wishing they didn't have to make acid because they couldn't sell it, whereas now it's smelters wishing they could make more of it. Ouch. It says here China acid price surges to highest in at least 8 years. Here it is there. I think that's by the ton. Yeah. That's per ton, and it's almost at 650. The squeeze on sulfuric acid, also known as oil of vitriol, comes at a time surging demand and record high prices for copper as stimulus and vaccination campaigns stoke optimism about economic recovery, while the metal's role in the energy transition underpins appetite for longer-term value. That's right. Oh, I'm telling you, it's the future. While some smelters produce sulfuric acid as a byproduct, the solvent extraction electrowinning technology that's widely employed in Chile uses it as feedstock. That makes the Chilean mining industry one of the most intensive sulfuric acid users. The nation consumes about 8.5 million metric tons of it per year, which is just 5.5 million tons is sourced locally, according to government agency Cochilco. And it says here, but with China and other countries offering less for export, shipments coming into Chile fell for the first quarter. And that's already having an impact at some mines. While state-owned Codelco managed to increase copper production in the first quarter, its Gabriela Mistral mine suffered a 40% slump. One of the reasons for that was a lack of access to sulfuric acid, according to Carmen Zuleta, who heads the union that represents workers at the mine. Codelco didn't immediately provide a comment. And it says here, to be sure, Chile's ability to maintain high levels of copper output probably faces far greater threats from a slew of wage negotiations or another wave of COVID-19 infections. Still, if tightness in sulfuric acid supply grows more pronounced and long-lasting, it could affect as much as 12% of the production in the country, said Christian Cifuentes from Cochilco. Now, it says here, while acid contract prices are about $60 a ton, spot levels have surged to 160 to 170, CRU's Harrison said. Prices probably will ease back to 110 to 140 by year's end as a pickup in refining yields more sulfur. But check this out. Supply is set to stay fairly structurally tight for the next 4 or 5 years. Yikes. That's a few days. And then there's the pandemic fatigue. Chile copper recovers from February, but still down on last March. So they're coming back, though. And that's that one. Now, what is oil of vitriol? I'm going to that's sulfuric acid, or also known as oil of vitriol, is a mineral acid composed of the elements sulfur, oxygen, and hydrogen with the molecular formula 2 hydrogen, 1 sulfur, and 4 oxygen. It is a colorless, odorless, and viscous liquid that is miscible with water at all concentrations. So that basically means that when you pour it in water, it becomes homogeneous with the water. It's basically, if you remember, they used to say the solution to pollution is dilution. That's basically what you're doing there. Next thing I wanted to talk about is why this is so important. This is so important because there needs to be an executive decision made probably fairly soon if these tight supplies of acid and copper continue. And it's just going to be incredible. And maybe they'll have to source more local copper from, I guess, New Mexico or Arizona or even Mexico. Because if you look at our coins, this one is mostly zinc. But look at this one, 75% copper. And this one's mostly copper, mostly copper, mostly copper. And how long can that last for? They're probably going to be switching over to these metals here. Or it's got to be something. Something's going to give soon. And like I said, there's going to be an executive decision, and we may get some new coin composition next year. And that would be really interesting. And I wanted to leave you here with a question today. And it's I know it's probably on everybody's mind who does buy silver. They look at the spot prices, then they look at the physical prices. And it's just, it's two different worlds, But I think there's another question that needs to be asked as well, besides why are physical and spot two different prices. The next question here is, why is it that all of the other commodities are just going through the roof and reaching all-time new highs? Okay, all-time new highs. But if you go here to JM BUllion and you look at the live spot prices, you'd never know it. You never know it. And that's concerning. I mean, think about that. If everything else is going up except gold and silver, what is going on with that? It just begs the question, doesn't it? Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker, out.